Now that we have downloaded and installed JDK, set the path in the operating system and downloaded and installed Netbeans 14. Let's actually go and write and run some Java code. Okay, so hopefully from your installation of Netbeans 14, you've got the little icon for Netbeans 14 on the taskbar. So I'm just going to click on that. If you don't have that, you should have an icon shortcut on your desktop, so you can double click on that. Okay, so Apache then loads up, and this can take a little while. So here we are, Netbeans has started running. Okay, this is a startup page here, and you can see we can either have it showing or not, so you can just unclick that if you don't want it to show. So there are some useful links here: learn, take a tour, try a sample project, and so on. So we'll sort of explain what these words are, what's new, this compared to older versions. So you probably don't need to go in there for the moment. Okay, so that's the start page. Let's just close it here. It's going to come up the next time, so I'll still have it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to create what's called a project. Okay, so open the file, new project. Okay, and there's a particular process here. We need to be a little bit careful here. Okay, when we're actually setting up our project. So our project is going to be basically, you can think of it like a folder, and we can have more than one Java file in that folder. And there will be some other folders, some other subfolders and documents within there. Okay, that are generated by just the overload of Netbeans. So let's not worry too much about that. Let's just get started. So the first thing you're going to have to choose for new project is what category of project it is. And now for the start, what we strongly recommend is you pick Java with Ant. Okay, and the reason being is essentially Java with Maven and Gradle or Gradle, I'm not sure. Or you can see we could also have a HTML5 or JavaScript website or a PHP website project, but we're going to go for Java. So, and we're picking Java with Ant. And the reason being is that Ant, Maven, etc., these are Java libraries used to build Java applications. Ant is probably the simplest library, okay? And what does that mean? It's got a number of built-in tasks that can compile, assemble, test, and run our Java applications. Okay, so it's the most useful such library when you're starting out programming in Java. So for that reason, pick Java with Ant. Okay, and let's take next. And one of the issues that can arise if we're not careful is we can create projects and that's great, okay, but we may not necessarily know where they are. So when you're creating a project, it's very important, give it a distinctive name. Okay, so I'm just going to call this okay, test for video. Okay, and where am I going to put it? I'm just going to put this on the desktop for the moment. Okay, because it's easy to see that when we want to just go and check. Okay, so here's my desktop. And if you notice what's happening now, okay, so the project is going to be located on the desktop, and there's going to be a project which has folder which has the same name as the project is going to be on the desktop. Okay, and then this is typically we would leave this checked here, create main class. Okay, so this is going to be our Java. This is going to be the default file that opens. So let's take finish on that. Okay, depending if you have an ancient laptop like I have, it takes a while. Right, okay. So that's done eventually. And what do we have here? Projects. I have a couple of projects that are here already, older projects. Okay, and here's the project that we've created. Okay, if I right click on it, no, sorry, I thought that would bring allow us to get properties. No, okay, we'll come back. Okay, yeah, there we go. If you put the mouse over, you can see it says Java project in C users Philip desktop test for video. Okay, so that's how you know where the project is. And then we have what's called a source package. Okay, so projects and packages. Here we are. We haven't actually started writing code yet. We've got all these P words that we need to think about. Okay, so what do you mean by package? I think of a package as a way for Netbeans to take your application, i.e. your project, if you like. Okay, that's your Java code. And then that needs to be packaged with the Java runtime environment, which is part of the Java development kit. Okay, so by creating a package, we are making a connection between our code and our ability to run the code. Okay, so that's really what packages is all about. Okay, and if you notice what's happening here, okay, the packages, once, if you remember, we clicked a checkbox to say we wanted to create an initial class called test for video. Okay, so notice the project is called test for video. It's stored in a folder called test for video, and that's also the name of the package, test for video. And we have our Java file here, testforvideo.java. Okay, and if you notice over here, here is our file here. Okay, so down here is the output tab. Okay, and this is essentially when we run our Java program, we're going to see something happening here, providing we have written some code that will actually output something here. So the easiest way to do this is I'm just going to, you can see that that's a comment statement there, okay? Okay, so just add in a new line here. And I'm going to write just SOUT, okay? This is one of the most famous abbreviations in Java. It means system out, out as in output, okay? So we're going to display something in the output, okay? So what I've done there, let's just do that again. Okay, SOUT, and then I hit the tab key once, okay? And Netbeans supplies the rest, okay? So system.out.println. Okay, so we're going to print something in the output window. That's essentially what it means, okay? So let's write something here. Okay, and then I want to run this. Okay, now I can run the entire project, okay, or I can run just this individual file. I can run file here, Shift and F6. How did I get this? I just right click here. Okay, I'm just right click in this area, run file. And you should see, you can see test for video run here. Here's the name of the file, and hopefully, because my laptop is slow, it takes a little while. Okay, takes a good while. This is the simplest program possible, and my beard is growing quickly as we speak. Okay, anyway, here we go. Good luck has appeared here. Okay, another way to run it is to come up here, and this time, if you notice, it says run project. Okay, and this is basically the project file. We could have, this Java program could be calling code from another Java file. So when I click on this, it does a little bit quicker there. It's already kind of warmed up. Okay, so that is our first Java code actually being run. Now let's just return up here and look at the code. You can see there's some code being generated here. Okay, /* or /* and then we can end that with an **. Okay, that means we're creating a multi-line comment, and that means basically whatever's in there, Netbeans will not regard that as Java code. It's just a comment. Okay, I've got a link in there, that's why it's not kind of grayed out. But essentially, let me just delete that. Okay. like that. Let's just take out all the stuff we don't need. Okay, this is good practice to do here, to write in who the author is. Okay, so I'm just going to write, okay, as you learn, code has to be maintained, and it's important that a record of who maintains the code is kept. So normally the author would be put in there, and you could also add in some comments as well about what the code is about. Okay, I'm going to leave the next comment for the moment, if you don't mind. We'll come back to it, and I'm going to delete this as well. Let's just keep it as bare as possible for day one. Okay. So here is the name of the class, as it's called. Okay, so here's our Java code, and inside this we have this method here. Okay, this is called the main method. Okay, and essentially we're going to run this basically without worrying too much about it, because let's just get up and running. So really, there's a lot here you're not really going to understand at the start, but the best way to learn, I think, really is just to get stuck in writing code, and then we'll come back and get a sense of what do these words mean. Void, why static, public, static void main. Okay, all we know is we need a line, public class, and then the name of the .java file. Okay, and notice this bracket here is closing with this bracket here. Okay, and then inside that we have the public static void main method. Okay, our function, let's just call it a method, more commonly used in Java. And then all I'm doing here is system.out.println. Okay, just printing something out. I could do something like this. Okay, I'm declaring a variable called x. I'm saying it is a primitive variable type integer, and I am assigning an initial value of 5. Okay, so if I type s out x plus y, and then I go plus equals, okay, something like that. Sorry, I actually should say something like that. Okay, so I'm going to add, and notice over here I'm getting an error here. Okay, it's telling me a quotation mark, or sorry, a ordinary bracket is expected. Okay, so you can see once we start making basic syntax errors, they're flagged up immediately. So that means we're not going to make our error. We're going to clean up our errors before we actually run for a lot of time. Okay, so that you can see that bracket is red because we haven't closed it properly. I click on that one, you can see the closing one is green as well. So now you can see this has gone green, this has gone green. Okay, and if I right click and run file, let's see what we get here. Okay, x plus y equals 11. So we're outputting two things. Okay, just some characters where there's no processing involved, a string of characters, and then second time on line 13 we've got a string x plus y space equals, and then we've got the sum of two variables.